Welcome back, grade 2 students. Welcome in your science lesson. Right now, tell me, class, what was the topic that we have started yesterday? What was the name of the topic? Yes, correct. The name of the topic was heat. Right. It was heat. So, what we did in heat actually? You have learned what is heat, from where does heat comes from, right? So what is the job of heat actually? Yes, to make you feel warm. Very good. Whenever you go anything which is very, very hot, whenever you go near to that thing, what happens to you? You feel hot, right? Correct. And tell me, what is the very, very first important source from where we get heat, which is indeed a natural source. It's the sunlight. Very good. We get the sunlight is the natural source of heat because it is created by Allah. It is the natural source of heat from where we get the heat. That is why if you sit in the sunlight, you will feel warm, right? You will feel nice and warm, especially in winter time. But whereas in summertime, when it is very, very hot, and you people, if you go and sit in outside in the sun, what happens then? Of course, you will feel very, very hot. You all are going to feel very hot because of the heat, right? Because of the heat actually it's coming from sunlight, right? Now, I'm going to show you a video, and that video is going to tell you about the main topic that we are going to learn today. And again, this video is of Edward video class. Do watch it later on. Go to the website and do watch the video and watch it very, very carefully right now because I'm going to ask questions about this video. Ready? Okay, there you go. Can you all see my screen, class? Okay, come on, there you go. Just a minute.
Heat and light. Let's learn. Main sources of light are sun, light bulb, and fire. Interestingly, most of them are also heat sources. Sun and fire mainly. We need light to see things and heat to cook and keep warm. Sun and fire are natural sources that provide us both with heat and light. So let's learn more about light and heat. Without them, we cannot live.
All right. So what was that? The video was about showing the sources of heat and light. Now see, most of the sources of heat are also the same sources of light. They are common. Like sun is also the source of light, it's also the source of heat. Fire is also the source of light, it's also the source of heat. So what's the natural source here? Sunlight is the natural source of heat and fire. Both are the natural sources of heat. They are created by God. We can get heat from the sunlight, as I have already explained you. When you stand outside in the sun, excuse me, especially in the winter time, how do you feel? You will feel so nice because you are getting heat from the sunlight. You are getting heat and you are feeling so nice and warm. Whereas if the same thing happens in summertime, you will feel opposite. You will not feel good because you are getting so much heat. Already it's hot. Already it's so much hot outside. The weather is so hot. And if you stand outside the sun, you will get the sunlight and feel hot. Although this sunlight is very, very important. Why? Yes, because it gives you vitamin D. Vitamin D, as I have explained to you before also, vitamin D is very, very important for your body, right? So, now vitamin D, you can get that easily from the sunlight. If you go and sit early in the morning from 8 or 9 to 11 or 12, you can easily get the vitamin D from the sunlight, whether it is summertime, whether it is wintertime. Okay, so what is our topic for today? Our topic for today was, as you have seen, sources of heat. Sources of heat, right? And what are the sources of heat? As we have seen, the natural sources are sunlight and fire. And the other sources, we'll be looking at the presentation. Let's move on and I'll show you the presentation. From there, you can easily gather what are the different sources of heat. Can you all see my screen? Right now, you can see this is the heat energy which you get from the sun, right? So sun gives you the source of energy. The lightning that you get, that is also the source of heat. Heater is also the source of heat. Toaster, you get the heat from toaster as well to toast your bread. Then stove on which you cook your food. Your mom cook food for you. That stove is also a source of heat. It also gives heat because unless there is no stove, then your mom won't be able to cook yummy, yummy food for you. Yes? So this is also another source of heat. Then boiling water. You get heat from boiling water. This is very important. You get heat from boiling water. Then fire. You get heat from fire also. Yes, so these are the different sources of heat that gives you heat. Sun, lightning, heater, toaster, stove, boiling water, fire. So children, that means that you can also look at these sources of heat and light. Sun, this is a candle, this is a lamp and the sunlight. So these are all the different sources of heat. But the main source of heat is fire because it's a natural source which is created by Allah. Then the main source of heat is also sun, the sunlight, because this is also natural source. This is created by Allah, as we have already discussed this topic, right? So that means, children, what are the sources of heat? Yes, okay. Sunlight, then fire, then we can say candle. Yes, what else are the sources? These were the sunlight and fire are the main sources of heat. They are the natural sources of heat. Then candle, heater, then you have seen stove. Yes, so these are the main sources of heat from where you can get heat, right? Now, is the time for you to do the task. So what you are going to do, you are going to write down the heading. So heat, then sources of heat, and write down all these names of the sources of heat and draw their pictures, right? Since it is drawing and writing, so I'm going to give you 12 minutes for this task, okay? And then after drawing and writing, do write down one or two lines that sunlight and fire are the natural sources of it. Don't forget to write this down. Okay, so what you have to do, two tasks you have to do. You have to write down these sources of heat, Then you have to write down what is sunlight and fire. They are the natural sources of heat. And then you have to draw the pictures. So two tasks, and so I think 12 minutes are more than enough. So your time starts now. Okay, class, time is up, time is up. Show me your work. You have written all the sources. Wow. You have written the last line also. Great. Now, if some of the pictures are left, you are unable to write down, draw the pictures, you can complete this as a homework. Okay. The other homework I'll be posting on portal class. So what was the topic that we did today? We have learned about the different sources of heat and what are the natural sources of heat and what are the other sources that are man-made sources of heat. Man-made sources of heat would be heater, stove. It would come like the heat you get from lamp, the heat you get from torch, whereas natural sources are sunlight, fire, candle. Okay, so do remember to do the homework and do revise all the tasks that we have done up till now over this week, and so that you will not have any issues when your exams are near. Okay, class? And don't forget to watch the Edward videos too. All right, so see you later. Bye bye. Have a nice day.